We're setting up the building in wintertime conditions, so which means we're closing all the windows, making sure the windows are locked, and we're making sure that all the doors are closed throughout the building. I want to do one entire test. I want to test the entire building. Therefore, each apartment door needs to be opened into the common space. Blower door test depressurizes the building to a set standard of -50 pascals or +50. And then we count how many cubic feet of air are passing through that fan. And then by some simple math, we calculate between the volume of the building to how much air is leaving, and we can understand air change per hour, ACH. This is important to the tenants because we want to make sure that they are comfortable. One of the greatest losses of energy, and one of the simplest methods of energy conservation, would be to keep the expensive air, which you just paid to condition, be it cooling or be it heating. You want to make sure that that air that you just heated and cooled stays here, and that it doesn't leave through hundreds of different locations of leaks, possible leaks. So, one of the foundations of building an energy efficient building is making sure that it's airtight. I just heard the train pass by, I could hear the train, and coming in here, I could see the ocean. So you have a pretty interesting location where a lot of these so-called green buildings are built out in a green field. But when that happens, you end up having a tremendous expense of transport, which a lot of times has never really been calculated, or it doesn't. Only recently it's starting to become part of the conversation. But if you're spending so much time and fuel and energy just moving yourself, typically it will be in a vehicle, a car. And so building a green building out on a green field where you have very little access to the library, the post office, the coffee shop, shopping, or work becomes a very energy intensive living arrangement. So here we have a multiple dwelling. Actually, it's a mixed use because there's a doctor's office on the ground floor. We have a multiple dwelling with a mixed use building in a dense urban environment. And the density is key because then you can afford, then the society can actually afford, because of the density, you can afford the expense of having the massive infrastructure of public transportation. In this case, the public transportation happens to be the New York City subway system, which is excellent. So that makes this, just the location by default is sustainable. And now we add a sustainable rebuilt building upon that. That's the way to think about sustainability.